I'm going to use the Gigue from the French Suite number 6 in E major as an example of how to build up one's speed without losing the details that you want to keep in fast tempo. And it's very easy for students when they play faster to completely overlook a lot of the early practicing and the definitive decisions they've made about how to slur the subject, in this case, how to phrase it, and when does it appear in the other voices, and does the phrasing of the subject, when it appears in the left hand against the right, because there are two voices, do they have a certain symmetry in the way you are phrasing it? They should. The other big issue for this particular piece is it says it's in 6/8 time. A lot of students think that means 6 beats to the measure, but really 6/8 time is called duple compound. It means there are really 2 beats to the measure. You think in 2. When you think of 2 groups of 3, because there are so many triplets in it, interspersed with 16ths, or triplet groups of 3 eighth notes, you want to make the second group, or the second part of the measure, a little lighter, so it doesn't get thumpy, because it could get very thumpy and you don't get the sense of a horizontal motion. Major goal here is to really back up very slowly and define exactly what your decisions are in phrasing the piece, also what your decisions are in fingering, because you have to have a musical fingering that would be smooth enough to create the speed down the line that I wanted. But when I practiced it originally, I did things like define how I was phrasing this subject. So right away, I think lean, see how I'm detaching? I'm just going to delay to, and then comes 1, 2, 1, 2, and then tie. Slur 2, lift. These are all slur 2, slur 2, detach. Then a series of sequences. Less now, roll around, even less now, coming down. Then you have the opposite crescendo going up, dead waves, destination there. Time, second beat, 1, 2, less, 1, 2, tie, diminish chord, less. Now this is going to get higher, so you have plenty of time to intensify. Now here's where it really intensified. This is where it is the destination, the cadence. So I'm very clear about how I'm slurring and detaching all of the notes, particularly in the subject. How is it done? It's done slur 2, detach, 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 detach. So that's important. Now, there's a place in this, when I bring in the left hand, where I'm going to reverse that phrasing, because musically it made sense, and I'll show you where it is, right here. Listen to the left hand. Slur, downbeat is the detached notes. It plays out differently. And that's because of the way the piece unfolds, that you now, the first half of the measure, have the 3 detached notes, and then you have slur 2 detached. And it works. If you do it the other way, it doesn't really work. So you have to play around with that. But then it falls back into and the other thing is, you really don't want to take either voice for granted. It's like a 2-part invention, really, in that
you have two voices and they're equally important. They're interacting in the Gigue form, but they're interacting so that one shouldn't fall by the wayside ever. So that's an important thing. The slurs also know what keys you're in the fingering. To adapt to a fingering that you can do speed eventually, because the test of the fingering is going to be in peak speed. Is it going to fall apart, or do you have a solid fingering? And I think I have a pretty solid fingering here, as you can see. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4 fingers, peak it here, fall down. So especially we have lots of long lines and 16ths, you have to have very, very solid fingering. You may not want to rely on 5/4s a lot, but bring the thumb under so that you have what I call the stronger fingers for a prolonged passage like that. In the second part, same phrasing that we did before. Be able to sing either part. While you're playing one part, sing the other. This is all slow motion. Listen to the left Make longer groups of roll into the cadence, resolve, left hand, this is E major again. Listen to back to the phrasing left hand. So you're really listening again when you have this subject and the left hand's got it. You don't want it to fall under the rug. You want it resiliently coming through, and at the same time you want the right hand not to die on you either. You're hearing two voices at the same time. That's what the beauty of this is. Often watch how long the notes are held. Left hand. Leaning on one and lightning two for the most part works when you're playing it, whether slowly or in tempo. There was another place where I changed the slurrings for the so-called subject of the Gigue because of the way it plays out. I'll show you where I do it. It's not here. It's going to be here. Downbeat, you can see the downbeat is now detached, whereas before the downbeat was slurred too. And that's because of the way there's a certain unevenness here in this place. Let's see, where is it? Where he does this. Because he starts that at the end of the measure, so it throws things into a different balance. You've got to know what you're doing. You can't guess at this. So that's about it. Now I am trying to even inch my tempo up a little more without losing all of what what it's able to do in slow motion. It's mostly the second page that's the hardest because of that trill and that left hand, that the attention is going to be drawn to the left hand. Because the trill, as it's going on and on and on, it's not the melody. So the left hand is like the cello, going in and out, and it's rather slurred, it's smooth. And so it's a tricky passage. It's a very tricky passage. The hardest place are the long trills, not so much for the trill part, but for the left hand meandering and drawing the attention of the listener. And it can't get all crowded, and it's easy to get crowded if you don't have a great left hand. I don't certainly have a great left hand to this day. But you could do rhythms. When you do the rhythms, you want to loosen up your whole arm so that you're throwing your wrist like a forward arm roll this way. And that allows you, when you actually play it as written, that your arm is free and supple, and your wrist and everything, so that you don't get tight. You do these different routines to create bigger motions, bigger energies, and relaxed energies into your fingers, so that you're not playing fingers, but you're rolling through this. See how you get that undulations, really, so you get this da 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 da. I personally like Bach phrased nicely without always articulated fingers.
As I inch up this speed, I keep in mind, and it's very important, to keep the intactness of the slow practice decisions, and that includes the counterpoint, the slurs, the articulations, the phrasing, and the feeling of two, plus dynamics, key changes, harmonic rhythm. There's all kinds of things. But when you play quickly now, you don't want to lose the details of your slow practicing.